Day 79 of reading through the scriptures. We're going to start in Exodus 29. And there's 3 other chapters later. And this is the task you shall do to them to set them apart to serve me as priests. Take 1 bull and 2 rams, perfect ones, and unleavened bread and unleavened cakes mixed with oil, and unleavened wafers anointed with oil. Make these of wheat flour. And you shall put them in 1 basket and bring them in the basket, along with the bull and the 2 rams. Then you shall bring Aharon and his sons to the door of the tent of appointment, and wash them with water. And you shall take the garments, and shall put on Aharon the long shirt, and the robe of the shoulder garment, and the shoulder garment, and the breastplate, and shall gird him with the embroidered band of the shoulder garment. And shall put the turban on his head, and shall put the set-apart sign of dedication on the turban, and shall take the anointing oil, and pour it on his head, and anoint him. Then you shall bring his sons, and put long shirts on them, and shall gird them with girdles, Aharon and his sons, and put the turbans on them. And the priesthood shall be theirs for an everlasting law. So you shall ordain Aharon and his sons. And you shall bring near the bull before the tent of appointment, and Aharon and his sons shall lay their hands on the head of the bull. And you shall slay the bull before Yahweh by the door of the tent of appointment. And take some of the blood of the bull, and put it on the horns of the slaughter place with your finger, and pour all the blood beside the base of the slaughter place. And you shall take all the fat that covers the entrails, and the appendage on the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is on them, and burn them on the slaughter place. But the flesh of the bull and its skin and its tongue you shall burn with fire outside the camp. It is a sin offering. And take 1 ram, and Aharon and his sons shall lay their hands on the head of the ram. And you shall slay the ram, and you shall take its blood and sprinkle it on all around the set-apart place. And cut the ram in pieces, and wash its entrails and its legs, and place them upon its pieces and on its head. And you shall burn the entire ram on the slaughter place. It is an ascending offering to Yahweh. It is a sweet fragrance, an offering made by fire to Yahweh. And you shall take the 2nd ram, and Aharon and his sons shall lay their hands on the head of the ram, and you shall slay the ram, and take some of its blood, and put it on the tip of the right ear of Aharon, and on the tip of the right ear of his sons, on the thumb of their right hand, on the big toe of the right foot, and shall sprinkle the blood all around on the slaughter place. And you shall take some of the blood that is on the slaughter place, and some of the anointing oil, and shall sprinkle it on Aharon and on his garments, on the sons, and on the garments of his sons with him. And he and his garments shall be set apart, and his sons and the garments of his sons with him. And you shall take the fat of the ram, and the fat tail, and the fat that covers the entrails, and the appendage on the liver, and the 2 kidneys and the fat on them, and the right thigh. It is for a ram of ordination. And 1 loaf of bread, and 1 cake made with oil, and 1 thin cake from the basket of the unleavened bread that is before Yahweh. And you shall put all these in the hands of Aharon, and in the hands of his sons, and you shall wave them, a wave offering before Yahweh. Then you shall take them from their hands, and burn them on the slaughter place as an ascending offering, as a sweet fragrance before Yahweh. It is an offering made by fire to Yahweh. And you shall take the breast of the ram of Aharon's ordination, and wave it, a wave offering before Yahweh, and it shall be your portion. And from the ram of ordination you shall set apart the breast of the wave offering which is waved, and the thigh of the contribution which is waved, of that which is for Aharon and that which is for his sons. And it shall be from the children of Israel for Aaron and his sons by a law forever, for it is a contribution. And it is a contribution from the children of Israel from the slaughters of their peace offerings, their contribution to Yahweh. And the set-apart garments of Aharon are for his sons after him, to be anointed in them and to be ordained in them. The priest from his sons in his place puts them on for 7 days when he enters the tent of appointment to attend in the set-apart place. And take the ram of ordination and cook its flesh in the set-apart place. And Aharon and his sons shall eat the flesh of the ram and the bread that is in the basket by the door of the tent of appointment. And they shall eat those offerings with which the atonement was made, in order to ordain them, to set them apart. But let a stranger not eat them, because they are set apart. And if any of the flesh of the ordination offerings or of the bread be left over until the morning, then you shall burn up what is left over. It is not eaten, because it is set apart. And you shall do to Aharon and his sons according to all that I have commanded you. 7 days you shall ordain them, and prepare a bull each day as a sin offering for atonement. And you shall cleanse the slaughter place when you make atonement for it, and you shall anoint it to set it apart. For 7 days you shall make atonement for the slaughter place and set it apart. And the slaughter place shall be most set apart. Whatever touches the slaughter place is to be set apart. And this is what you prepare on the slaughter place: 2 lambs a year old daily continually. Prepare the 1 lamb in the morning, and the other lamb you prepare between the evenings. And 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with 1/4 of a hin of pressed oil, and 1/4 of a hin of wine as a drink offering with the other with 1 lamb. And prepare the other lamb between the evenings, and with it prepare the grain offering and the drink offering, as in the morning, for a sweet fragrance, an offering made by fire to Yahweh. A continual ascending offering for your generations at the door of the tent of appointment before Yahweh, where I shall meet with you to speak with you. And there I shall meet with the children of Israel, and it shall be set apart by my esteem. And I shall set apart the tent of appointment and the slaughter place. And Aharon and his sons I set apart to serve as priests to me. And I shall dwell in the midst of the children of Israel, and shall be their Elohim. Sorry about the noise. That's our happy baby. And they shall know that I am Yahweh their Elohim, who brought them up out of the land of Mitzrayim to dwell in their midst. I am Yahweh their Elohim. Our next chapter is Jeremiah chapter 13. Sorry about the noise. Our littlest child was making a lot of noise. Thus Yahweh said to me, go and get yourself a linen girdle, and put it on your loins, but do not put it in water. So I bought a girdle according to the word of Yahweh, and put it on my loins. And the word of Yahweh came to me a second time, saying, take the girdle that you have bought, which is on your loins, and arise, go to the Euphrates, and hide it there in a hole in the rock. And I went and hid it by the Euphrates, as Yahweh commanded me. And it came to be after many days that Yahweh said to me, arise, go to the Euphrates, and take from there the girdle which I commanded you to hide there. So I went to the Euphrates and dug, and I took the girdle from the place where I had hidden it. And there was the girdle ruined, it was completely useless. And the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, thus said Yahweh, thus I return the pride of Yehuda and the great pride of Jerusalem, this evil people, who refuse to hear my words, who walk in the stubbornness of their people, and walk after other mighty ones to serve them and to bow themselves to them, is like this girdle which is completely useless. For as the girdle clings to the loins of a man, so I have caused all the house of Israel and all the house of Yehuda to cling to me, declares Yahweh, to become mine, for a people and for a name, and for a praise, and for adorning. But they did not listen, and you shall speak to them this word. Thus says Yahweh Elohim of Israel, every bottle is to be filled with wine. And when they say to you, do we not know that every bottle should be filled with wine? Then say to them, thus said Yahweh, see, I am filling all the inhabitants of this land, and the sovereigns who sit on the throne of David, and the priests and the prophets, and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem with drunkenness. And I shall dash them one against another, both the fathers and the sons together, declares Yahweh. I do not spare, nor pardon, nor have compassion, that I should not destroy them. Listen and give ear, do not be proud, for Yahweh has spoken. Give esteem to Yahweh, your Elohim, before he brings darkness, and before your feet stumble on the dark mountains, and while you are looking for light. He turns it into the shadow of death, making it gross darkness. And if you do not listen, my being shall weep in secret for your pride, and my eyes bitterly weep and run down with tears, because the flock of Yahweh shall be taken captive. Say to the sovereign and to the sovereigness mother, humble yourselves, sit down, for your rule, the crown of your comeliness has come down. The cities of the south shall be shut up, with no one to open them. Yehuda shall be taken into exile, all of it. She shall be taken into exile completely. Lift up your eyes and see those who come from the north. Where is the flock that was given to you, your fair sheep? What would you say when he visits you? For you have taught them to be chiefs, to be a head over you. Do not pangs seize you like a woman in labor? And when you say in your heart, why has this come upon me? Is it because of your great crookedness that your skirts have been uncovered? your heels made bare? Does a Cushite change his skin and a leopard change its spots? You who are taught to do evil and also unable to do good. So I shall scatter them like stubble that passes away by the wind of the wilderness. This is your lot, your measured portion from me, declares Yahweh, because you have forgotten me and trust in falsehood. I shall even draw your skirts over your face, and your shame shall be seen. Your adulteries and your neighings, the wickedness of your whoring. I have seen your abominations on the hills and the fields. Woe to you, O Jerusalem, how long before you would be made clean? Psalm 79. O Elohim, the nations have come into your inheritance. They have defied your set-apart Hechel. They turned Jerusalem into ruins. They have given the dead bodies of your servants as food for the birds of the heavens, the flesh of your lovingly committed ones to the wild beasts of the earth. They have poured out their blood like water all around Jerusalem, with no one to bury them. We have become a reproach to our neighbors, a scorn and a mockery to those who are around us. How long, O Yahweh, would you be enraged forever? Will your jealousy burn like fire? Pour out your wrath on the nations who have not known you, and on reigns who have not called on your name. For they have devoured Yaakov, laid waste his pasture. Do not remember us against us the crookedness of the fathers. Let your compassion speedily meet, for we have been greatly weakened. Help us, O Elohim of our deliverance, for the sake of the esteem of your name, and deliver us and cover over our sins, for your name's sake. Why should the nations say, where is their Elohim? Let the vengeance of the outpoured blood of your servants be known among the nations, before our eyes. Let the groaning of the prisoner come before you. According to the greatness of your arm, preserve those appointed to death, and repay to our neighbors sevenfold their reproach into their bosom, with which they have reproached you, O Yahweh, and we, your people and the sheep of your pasture, we give thanks to you forever. From generation to generation we show forth your praise. Our last chapter today is John chapter 11. And a certain one was sick, Eleazar, that's Lazarus, from Bethania, the village of Miriam and her sister Martha. Now it was Miriam who anointed the master with perfume and wiped his feet with her hair, whose brother Eleazar was sick. Therefore the sisters said to him, saying, Master, see, he whom you love is sick. But when Yeshua heard, he said, this sickness is not unto death, but for the esteem of Elohim, so that the son of Elohim might be esteemed by it. Now Yeshua loved Martha and her sister and Eleazar. Therefore, when he heard that he was sick, then he stayed at the place where he was 2 more days. Then after this he said to the taught ones, let us go back to Yehuda. The taught ones said to him, Rabbi, the Yehudim were but now seeking to stone you, and you are going back there? And are you going back there? Yeshua answered, are there not 12 hours in the day? If anyone walks in the day, he does not stumble, because he sees the light of this world. But if anyone walks in the night, he stumbles, because the light is not in him. He said this, and after that he said to them, our friend Eleazar has fallen asleep, but I am going there to wake him up. Therefore the taught one said to him, Master, if he has fallen asleep, he shall recover. But Yeshua had spoken about his death, whereas they thought he spoke of taking rest and sleep. So then Yeshua said to them plainly, Eleazar has died, and for your sake I am glad I was not there, in order for you to believe. But let us go to him. Tama, who was called the twin, then said to his fellow taught ones, let us also go, so that we die with him. Therefore, when Yeshua arrived, he found that he had already been 4 days in the tomb. Now Beth Anya was near Jerusalem, about 15 stadia away, to be about 3 kilometers. 2 miles. And many of the Yehudim had come to Martha and Miriam to comfort them concerning their brother. Martha then, when she heard that Yeshua was coming, met him, but Miriam was sitting in the house. Martha then said to Yeshua, Master, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. But even now I know that whatever you might ask of Elohim, Elohim shall give you. Yeshua said to her, your brother shall rise again. Martha said to him, I know that he shall rise again in the resurrection at the last day. Yeshua said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me, though he dies, he shall live. And everyone that is living and believing in me shall never die at all. Do you believe this? She said to him, Yes, Master, I believe that you are the Messiah, the Son of Elohim, who was coming into the world. And having said this, she went away and called her sister Miriam secretly, saying, "The teacher is here and calls on you." When she heard, she rose up quickly and came to him. And Yeshua had not yet come into the village, but was in the place where Martha met him. Therefore the Yehudim who were with her in the house and were comforting her, when they saw that Miriam rose up quickly and went out, followed her, saying, "She is going to the tomb to weep there." Miriam, therefore, when she came to where Yeshua was and saw him, she fell down at his feet, saying to him, "Master, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." Yeshua, therefore, when he saw her weeping, and the Yehudim who came within her weeping, he groaned in the spirit and was troubled. I believe that should be translated, he snorted like an angry horse. But I'm not an expert on the Greek, so we'll go with the translators probably knew what they were talking about. And said, "Where have you laid him?" Then they said to him, "Master, come and see." Yeshua wept. The Yehudim therefore said, "See how he loved him." And some of them said, "Was this one who opened the eyes of the blind not also able to prevent this one from dying?" Yeshua therefore, again groaning in himself, came to the tomb. Now it was a cave, and a stone lay against it. Yeshua said, "Take away the stone." Martha, the sister of him who had died, said to him, "Master, already he smells, for it is 4 days." Yeshua said to her, "Did I not say to you that if you believe, you shall see the esteem of Elohim?" So he took away the stone where the dead man was laid. And Yeshua lifted up his eyes and said, "Father, I thank you that you have heard me. And I know that you always hear me, but because of the crowd standing by, I said this, in order that they believe that you sent me." And when he had said this, he cried with a loud voice, "Eleazar, come out!" And he who had died came out, bound hand and feet with wrappings, and his face was wrapped with a cloth. Yeshua said to them, "Loosen him and let him go." Therefore many of the Yehudim who had come to Miriam and had seen what Yeshua did believed in him. But some of them went away to the Pharisees and told them what Yeshua did. So the chief priests and Pharisees gathered a council and said, "What shall we do? Because this man does many signs. If we let him alone like this, they all shall believe in him, and the Romans shall come and take away from us both our place and nation." And one of them, Caiaphas, being high priest that year, said to them, "You know not.
What?
Neither do you consider that it is better for us that one man die for the people than the entire nation should perish." But he did not say this from himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Yeshua was about to die for the nation. And not for the nation only, but to gather together into one the children of Elohim who were scattered abroad. So from that day they plotted to kill him. Yeshua therefore no longer went openly among the Yehudim, but went from there into the country near the wilderness, to a city called Ephraim, and remained there with his taught ones. Now the Pesach of the Yehudim was near, and many went from the country up to Jerusalem before the Pesach to set themselves apart. And so they were seeking Yeshua, and spoke among one another, standing in the set-apart place. "What do you think? Is he not coming to the festival at all?" But both the chief priests and the Pharisees had given a command that if anyone knew where he was, he should disclose it in order for them to seize him.